Strategic Management, a 7 minutes lesson learned of Strategic Management course, presented by Andaru Brahmono Adi from IPMI Business School, class of Executive MBA September 2018. What is strategic management? Strategic management is a set of managerial decision and action to allocate limited resources that determines long-term performance of a corporation in a market. In the short terminology, strategic management is a plan so that the company can win the battle, can win the competition in the market. The strategic management includes the following items. First one is internal and external environment analysis. This is an analytical skills that scanning either internal company and then the external environment. This is very useful to identify our strength, weakness, and also the opportunities and threats from the external. Number two is about the formulating a strategy. Then the number three of the strategy includes the implementation of the strategic plan. While the last but not least is also an evaluation and control of its strategic plan. The basic model of strategic management or MAGIC, it always have a feedback, a control, and a corrective action during the process. The basic element of MAGIC, number one is the vision of a company, number two is the mission of the company, and then number three is the objective of the company itself. There are plenty analytical tools that can be used to form a strategic plan. Below are the tools. First one is the 7 questions for situations. This is a model or the questions where we need to scan ourselves or the company ourselves and then start questioning about the market, the competitions, and the suppliers, the market potential and market growth rate. All those questions can lead to a strategy that can be formalized to be used for further plan. Number two is the wisdom. The wisdom is the combination of several analytical tools. These tools basically populated by Professor Roy Semble, and it's combination of several tools. For example, the what if forms of the SWOT analysis, and then the identifying the strength and weakness. This tool is very useful as a start of scanning the corporate strategic. Number three is the PESTEL. PESTEL stands for political, economic, social, technology, environment, and legal. It is a tool to scan all these aspects of the company, of the industry, and then its surrounding environment. Other tools that can be used stands for the valuable, the rare, the inimitable, and the organized resources. These tools usually called as FRIO analysis. Then the other tool can be used is the value chain analysis, the 5 Porter forces model, the SWOT analysis. SWOT consists of the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And last but not least is the improvement of the SWOT consists of SFAS, EFAS, and IFAS. All those analytical tools lead to an identification of the company capabilities and the company core competencies. Now, these two capabilities and competencies can be used to formalize further on identifying the company advantages. By knowing the company capabilities and competencies, and at the same time understanding the market, a company can then focus on its competitive advantage. This competitive advantage can be used and utilized to win the competition in the market. It is a very important phase to understand and for a company to identify its competitive advantage. The strategy to create value or competitive advantage must cover the following levels. It has to start from the business strategy and then going down to corporate level, and then last is the corporate or business advantage. These three levels must work significantly in alignment to get a successful implementation of strategic. Now, the strategic mindset itself consists of two. Number one is fit model, and number two is intent model. The difference between two models is how they operate between the current condition and the future state that we want to achieve. Last is the strategic implementation. It consists of corporate strategies. It can be also implemented during between on the collusion with your enemies, and then number three is strategic alliance with other partners. The important thing about the strategic implementation is that it has must be controlled, measured, and reviewed over time. This is the mind mapping that I like to use for the strategic management. It always starts on the mission, vision, and business model of a company. And the number two is how we can analyze the external and then internal analysis. From our external and internal analysis, we can then formulate the strategy, and then it can be used for corporate business functional strategy, TOWS metrics, IE metrics. Then we can use for the strategy selections. And after we select the strategy, it must be implemented through program, through people, procedure, and budget. Last but not least is about the performance measurement of the implementations. It must have a measurement, a KPI, so we can measure the effectiveness of our strategy. I guess